Last night, Nikon Asia and Nikon Australia were down for regular maintenance, or at least that's what Nikon leads us to believe. Because you see, in the modern age, there's no reason to take down a website for any reason, whether you're under a denial of service attack, whether you've got a high demand for a product, whatever it is. The only reason to take down a website is, well, Apple, case in point. When Apple's getting ready to make an announcement of a new iPhone, a new iPad, a new computer, anything that they consider a big deal, they spend weeks to months developing a presentation, a keynote, a video. And just minutes before that goes live, they basically bring a halt to all activity on their website, giving you this wonderful screen saying, hey, we'll be back soon, we're preparing something wonderful for you, and probably have a link to their keynote. And then once that keynote's over, you can purchase the product. So when Nikon Asia and Nikon Australia went down last night, I was expecting, yeah, this can't be anything else. There's no way they're under attack. There's no way they've taken their website down for maintenance. It just doesn't make any sense. So after 2 hours, when the website went up and I didn't see any product announcement, nothing of any material change, I was confused. But the good news is, while we don't know the exact reason for taking down the website, it did help shake the rumor tree. We now have a tighter timeline for the Nikon Z8 announcement. Details coming up, but first, please do me a favor. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe, share, choose all notifications, like, comment, and all that stuff. It's greatly appreciated. It really does mean an awful lot to me because it really helps this channel grow. I really felt that we were on the verge of a major announcement last night, and I figured it was probably the Nikon Z8 because there's no way on earth that Nikon's going to take down the website just for a minor update for, let's say, a Z50 Mark II. When I saw that Nikon Australia was down and then Nikon Asia, I thought, sounds like they're getting ready to make an announcement around 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. local time. That's Japanese local time, and I was getting excited. I thought, hey, you know, I better put out a video just in case this is happening because a lot of times we do get an announcement around 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. Japanese local time or around 10 o'clock to midnight Eastern Standard Time or New York time. So I got really excited and the sites were down for a good couple of hours and then they came up and there was nothing. No announcement, nothing of any significance, nothing to justify bringing the websites down. So I began to ponder. There's just no reason for a corporate website to go down these days, not for a major corporation, because there's so many ways to deal with a denial of service attack. There's so many ways to ensure that you have high reliability, availability, and scalability. So even if you're getting hit with an awful lot of demands for web pages because you've just announced a major camera, like the Nikon Z8, no problem. They just spin up new instances, new virtual machines, or we're probably not using virtual machines these days, they're probably using something like containerization to automatically spin up new modules to be able to handle that increased demand. And if they're under an attack, well, again, there's technologies in place. So when we see a website go down like this and there's absolutely no announcement, no news, kind of makes me wonder, there's no reason, even if they were going to do a complete overhaul of their site, they would do that in development, they'd test it, then they'd bring it to staging, maybe give it one last test to replicate it before putting it into production, and then they put it into production and you wouldn't notice anything. I mean, if you were trying to get that website, it might get stuck. It might seem like it's not doing anything and you'd hit refresh and of course the site would come back to life. But we didn't get anything. So I'm not sure, perhaps there was some sort of breach at Nikon and they shut it down to fix it so there was no potential loss of information, or maybe there was loss of information and that's something they were working on because both sites were down for a couple of hours. But thanks to Nikon rumors, we actually now have a tighter timeline for the Nikon Z8 announcement. If you'll recall, previously, the time frame for the Nikon Z8 announcement was late April to early May. Now, this is what Nikon rumors has to say about that. The latest I had, that probably means heard. So let's try that again. The latest I heard is to expect something in early May, in the next 30 days. But as you can imagine, I have no idea of what that means exactly. I think Nikon Rumors is being a little bit tough on themselves. Like any rumor site, and including this channel, we get sources of information from many different sources, and sometimes we don't get all that exact information. So for example, the Leica announcement on April the 13th. Well, yes, it could be happening on April the 13th, but is that Japanese local time at 10 a.m. in the morning? Because if so, well, it's the previous day here in North America. So it really depends on where and what time zone we're getting the announcement to really give us an idea of when we can expect it. So for example, a 10 o'clock announcement in the morning, what is that, New York time? Is that Paris time? Is that GMT plus 4, GMT plus 5, GMT plus 6? Is it Central European time? Is it Japanese local time? It's really, really hard to say, but to know that we're getting it narrowed down to, well, essentially the first week of May, well, that's looking really positive. And you've got to, let's just take a pause for a moment. Deep breath and just think for a moment. just 6 months ago, we didn't even know if the Nikon Z8 was real or not. How to Fly had come out several times saying, don't worry about it. Middle of summer, we're going to have an announcement. Well, July came along and guess what? Nothing. We didn't have an announcement. So How to Fly came out and said, look, you know what? Definitely before the end of October. And I'm not criticizing How to Fly because in the rumors game, until an announcement actually takes place, anything can happen. And what was most likely going on is that an announcement was planned for last year, for last summer, but they had problems sourcing parts. This has been a big problem for Nikon. To be able to source parts for their various cameras and lenses has really created a problem for them. They're having trouble answering the competition, getting cameras like the Nikon Z8 when they need to be, and instead we're looking at an early May announcement. So to take a deep breath and to actually, to just be happy to know that the Z8 is coming, that it's a real camera, and that we just have to wait, what, less than 30 days? I don't know, that isn't so bad. I get it. I own a Canon R5. It's not like for me I have any skin in the game, but I still have a lot of Nikon friends. I have Chuck from AP Studios. I have Photography. I have a lot of friends that shoot with Nikon gear, including my friends at a local camera store here in Canada for, I can't remember, Henry's. Couldn't remember the name for a moment there. I have a lot of friends that shoot with Nikon gear, so I am excited about the potential of what the Nikon Z8 can do, not just because I have friends, but for selfish reasons. If Nikon comes out with a Nikon Z8 that beats not only the Canon EOS R5 in terms of video and still specifications, but also the Sony A7 R5, well, that's good news for Sony and Canon customers, because when the R5 Mark II comes out, or the Alpha 1 comes out, which is due for a refresh, it's going to put pressure on those companies to deliver something even better than they would have if Nikon just came out with a lackluster camera in the Nikon Z8, or chose not to release anything at all. So I've seen some of the comments, some of you thinking there's no way the Z8's coming out, Nikon's done. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not troll. Let's not say Nikon's done, because they're not. And I understand your frustration thinking that it's not going to come, and if that helps, I get it. Say, you know what, it's not coming, it's not coming. Don't get yourself all hyped up, and then when it comes out, be excited at that moment. But if early May is the time we're expecting an announcement, I still expect Nikon to treat this as a pretty big deal, like they did with the Z9. I really do hope they release some teaser videos in the weeks upcoming to the Nikon Z9 announcement. I really do hope they do that. They did a great job with the Nikon Z9, and then on the day of, it was a full day of keynotes and presentations from photographers, videographers talking about the camera, and I think Nikon deserves 3 gold stars for that out of 3 gold stars. I think they did a terrific job, so fingers crossed. According to the latest rumors from Nikon Rumors, who's been doing a great job. Look at what Nikon Rumors did with the Nikon Z9. They pretty well nailed everything, and I consider Nikon Rumors to be a trusted and reliable source on this information. So early May is the window we're looking at now, so fingers crossed that that holds true. And if you want to stay up to date on all the latest news and rumors, specifically regarding the Nikon Z8 or any other major camera body or camera announcement, then go ahead and subscribe and choose all notifications. And by choosing all notifications, as soon as I publish a new video like this one here, well, you get notified by YouTube, so that way you can stay up to date on all the latest news and rumors. Just do one thing. Make sure these emails aren't going to your junk and spam folder, and if you want to be proactive, just go ahead and add that to your contact list, and so then your mail program is going to let those emails come in, because especially with me, with putting out videos at least once every day, it kind of looks like spam coming in all the time. Oh, and one other thing. If you're looking for all the minor news and rumors regarding all the major camera brands, all the major camera models, accessories, and all that sort of stuff, follow me on Twitter, because, well, I cover off all the minor stuff there. For all the stuff that isn't big enough to have its own separate video, well, I'm going to put it out there on Twitter through Filmmaker, which is short for Ordinary Filmmaker. But that's it for now. Have yourself a great day. It's 80 degrees here, if you can believe that, north of Toronto in Canada. 80 degrees. It's not even the middle of April yet. We got a few days to the middle of April. 80 degrees outside. Just absolutely incredible. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.